Jenny Holloway, Director of FashionCapital Limited, which is a not-for-profit concern that we help designers, retailers and manufacturers in the fashion industry. FashionCapital Limited was set up in 2006. It actually followed on from a government initiative called the London Fashion Forum, which was run by the London Development Agency. So for 6 years, from 2001 to 2006, we set up lots of resources for the industry, such as FashionCapital.co.uk, which is a leading portal today for the fashion industry. We also set up a boutique where designers can actually go and sell their garments. We did lots of mentoring, hand-holding support, and actually what we tried to do was offer a pool of resources that designers could really get benefit from, because it's a hard world out there. Everybody thinks that fashion is very glamorous and it's all photography and catwalks, and actually yes, that's part of it, but what people don't see is almost the blood, sweat and tears that go on behind those fashion garments. Today we have a database of over 100,000 people. We decided that the only way to make things work properly is to offer resources that mean something. We have now got the workshop. That's where we do the toiles, the samples, and actually anybody with a bit of a passion for fashion can come along to the workshop. They can bring in an illustration, and then we can actually make that into a working drawing, then a toile, and then we make it into a card pattern. We can even go and sell it on that designer's behalf. We have key accounts with JD Williams, ASOS.com, and I'm really delighted that we have such a fantastic team behind the factory. What we wanted to do was set up a centre of excellence whereby we have got fantastic machinists. We've worked extremely closely with ASOS.com, who have helped us tremendously, and at this very moment in time we are producing 5,000 garments a week. And I think that's what people don't realise about the fashion industry, is that there's a lot of hard work that goes on behind the scenes, and skilling today, that's where the biggest gap is in the whole of the fashion sector. Back in the 1970s and 80s, there was a trend towards narrow and deep. So that means you have a narrow product line, but you have deep penetration into buys. It was not uncommon to have 5,000 garments of a line, and that's 5,000 dozen. So you talk about 60,000 garments that will go through the whole of the shops of Marks and Spencer's. So consequently, the time was right then to go abroad. You know, you had massive economies of scale, but actually what's happened is that in the 70s and 80s, when that sort of exodus took place and productions were being made abroad, we lost our skill base here in the UK. We are absolutely adamant that the way forward is to bring in unemployed people who are naturally bright and let them see all the jobs that are available in the industry. And you can be a sample machinist, a pattern cutter, you can do quality control and inspection and machining. The first apprentices are going through now. We're working closely with the College of Haringey, Enfield and North East London.
My name's Jess and I'm doing the Fashion and Textiles apprenticeship with FashionCapital. I'd rather do the apprenticeship rather than go back to university because it's more hands-on here and I get to see it firsthand. We also get to go inside the factory and get shown how to use the cutting machines, the sewing machines, and how to do pressing, packing. It's all of the different stuff that they do on a regular basis. We learn it here. Here Monday to Fridays, but Tuesdays we have our lessons down at the workshop, and that's where we do all different stuff like hand sewing at the moment, and then that's where we learn how to make garments from scratch.
You've got to have a centre of excellence for the industry. There's got to be a place where we can all combine together and work and interact together for the good of the industry. Now in Germany they have these fashion houses, in New York they have the fashion district, and we haven't got that in London. You know, it's very dispersed. So I'm a big fan of the concept. I'm certainly going to make an application that we can move our 5 different sites in London, so we're all in one site together. And I want the UK, and London in particular, to be an absolute centre of excellence in everything that we do for the fashion industry. I think that actually to have a place where we can unite the different sectors together will naturally create business, not just on a national scale, but also an international scale.